Confronting questions, honest answers. The Mike Hosking Breakfast. With Radius Care. Caring is our calling. News Talk ZB.
To the KDR being the Friday, 23 minutes away from 8. Well, the Breakers got the news overnight that their home series, this is the semi-final we speak of, is against the Tasmanian Jack Jumpers, who beat the Cairns Taipans last night. Biggest story is the return of the Breakers, who have endured a couple of years of COVID hell, of course, only to re-emerge under normal conditions as one of the league's hottest operators. A lot of it put down to the coach, Mody Maor, who is with us. Very good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike. How are you?
I'm very well indeed. Jack Jumpers v Taipans, does it make any difference?
Not much. Not much.
You're surprised at the result, though?
No, it was going to be competitive either way. There's been a few injuries to both teams, so it was pretty hard to predict. I don't care. Whoever comes, comes.
What about the value of home court? How valuable to you?
Extremely. First of all, from a schedule standpoint, obviously they played yesterday and now they need to travel here, and we've been sitting in Auckland waiting and preparing, so that's a good thing. And when Spark Arena is full, it's one of the best places in the world.
It's fantastic, isn't it? What about the relationship with the fans? They never left, I get it, but this has got to have been an astonishing difference between what you've dealt with over the last couple of years.
It has been. It has been. I don't think they've ever left. That's never the way we looked at it. We looked at it as if we needed to gain their trust and do things in a way that resonates with them. And I feel that as far as the season's progressed, it resonated more and more. I feel it in the street when I walk with my daughter, or I feel it in Spark when we sell more tickets. It's been fun.
You got a little bit of pressure on your shoulders now. History tells you that when you get a home playoff, you tend to win the whole thing.
That's what you say. That's good.
Yeah. So you eat pressure. You meet pressure. You love pressure.
The way we treat this is that pressure is a privilege. We've been in the last 3 years through seasons where the games in February and March didn't matter much, and there was no pressure. And that's not a good thing. So being able to be in pressure situations and to play games that matter is a privilege and something we worked hard for. So I don't say I enjoy it, but I definitely cherish it.
Tell us why you're so good.
I don't know that I am.
Oh, well, you must be, because you're in the home semi-finals and everyone loves you. Something's happened this year. I don't want to battle with you and your modesty, but something's happened, and a chunk of it's you. What are you bringing?
I think it started with a selection of the people that we decided to bring into the building. We prioritized character over other things. This is true for staff, and this is true for players. I think that's paid dividends, huge ones. If anything else, I think we've been very clear about how we want to do things, whether it's on the court or off the court, and we haven't strayed away from this, even when the results didn't necessarily fall our way.
I heard one of the players, I can't remember who it was, but they were on the news the other day. They were talking about you saying what you do is you allow them to be them, you allow them to make a contribution. There are plenty of coaches in basketball that say, here's the model, here's what we're doing, suck it or walk out, and that's what they appreciate. Is that your style as you understand it?
It's part of what I try to do, yes. The idea that we are all owners of the team and they don't work for me, but we work together is something that I think carries real power. When everybody buys into this, then this fosters kind of an environment where responsibility is important. And you're responsible for yourself and you're responsible for your teammate. And I think that in the long term, that breeds better results.
How much of what you do with the players is mental as opposed to, tactical, physical, bouncing a ball, shooting it?
I mean, they all have their own place. If you want to break it down into a few tenets, then there's the technical aspects, the bouncing and the shooting, and there's the tactical aspects, how we do whatever it is that we do. There's the physical aspect, which is extremely important in a league like the NBL with the travel and the recovery and the schedule, etc. And then there's the mental aspect. I don't think either one of them can take precedent over the other. If one of these things isn't functioning at a high level, then everything else will suffer.
Oh, but you know Brendan McCullum?
I do not, I'm sorry.
Right, so Brendan's a famous New Zealand cricketer. He's gone off to be the coach of the English Test side. And since he's been the coach of the English Test side, they've won 9 of 10 tests, and they're calling it Bazball. And what he claims to have done is he's got in their head and he said, what you need to do is have fun. Above all else, enjoy this experience. Is there something in that?
I think there's a lot in enjoying what you do, but enjoyment can come from different places. We don't tend to be a happy-go-lucky kind of team. I think there's a huge difference between basketball and cricket and the fact that basketball is a contact sport. It's a physical one. If you come in with the idea of just enjoying it, I think you're going to get punched in the mouth. So I think we enjoy the process. We enjoy the work. We brought in people who really love the game. So practicing or watching film or preparing is not a chore for anyone. Like, these are guys who like it. They live for this. So I'm having a blast. We're all having fun, but I don't think when we step on the floor what you see is necessarily just joy. There's a little bit more of a drive to it.
Have you got a dynasty building here?
Oh, wow. Dynasties in professional sports today and in basketball specifically are something that's almost impossible to predict. The factors that kind of play into this are ones that are not necessarily in our control. Mainly forces of market. For us to create a dynasty and something long-lasting that wins consistently in the NBL means we were able to keep players with the Breakers for a very long time. Not necessarily the way the marketplace works now.
No, that is true. I think Sean Marks is finding that out at the Brooklyn Nets at the moment.
Yes, fair.
Did you watch LeBron this week?
I did watch LeBron.
Where does he sit?
That's a great question. He's definitely one of the best players to ever play the game. And if you want to judge a career, then it'd be fair to say that this is probably the best career. I don't know that means that he's the best player. At least he's not in my book, but that's might be just a generational thing. But definitely the best career, sustained excellence over an extreme period of time.
Terrific to talk with you. Go well this weekend and for the series, and I hope you win it all.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Nice to talk to you. Mody Maor, who is the Breakers coach. More on that now. It's 16 away from 8. Mike, politicians could learn a lot from Mody on how to build a team and play a game. We need an All Blacks coach, Mike, like this guy if we're going to win another World Cup. Mike, have you seen that Chris Stapleton is going to sing the national anthem at the Super Bowl? I have, and that'll be a highlight on Monday.